Hey guys, in this video we'll try to understand TypeScript. So I have been learning TypeScript for a while now and I have been using it. I've been trying to use it in every of my projects now, and in this video I'll try to make you understand what it is and why you should even care about it, right? So it is basically two things. Okay, it has two parts. First one is the language, right? And the second one is compiler. So the language is basically a statically typed programming language which adds true object-oriented capabilities to JavaScript. We all know that JavaScript does support object-oriented programming, but not quite like the languages Java, C++, right? So it has some limitations, right? But TypeScript enables us to overcome those limitations and make JavaScript a true object-oriented language, right? And obviously it adds statically typed programming features, right? So we can check the type of our variables at compile time, right? And which makes us want to know about the compiler, right? So it has compiler, and which transpiles. Actually here it's transpile basically means converting from one language to another language, right? So in this case TypeScript gets converted to native JavaScript. Okay, so at the end you're just writing JavaScript, and over the top it provides you the error checks, right? So compile time error checks like the statically typed language provides, right? So you have that, so you don't have any runtime errors and potential runtime errors in the production. Okay, so why do we need TypeScript? We will have to go to the code editor right now to see dynamic versus static typing, right? So basically dynamic versus static typing is wait, let me open my item. I'll just create I'll go to my desktop and desktop, and I'll create maker TypeScript. Okay, and I'll cd into that, or I'll just open it up in my code editor, which is code. By the way guys, we are this close to hitting 500 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it right now so we hit the milestone as soon as possible. Okay, all right, so we will have to initialize node app so it can support type package for TypeScript, right? So wait, what did I do? Wait. I need to cd into TypeScript and then npm init y. My bad, I need to delete this package.json. Yeah, okay, so we have package.json. Now we'll install. Since this won't be going to any production, I'll just install it as the normal dependency, but okay, I guess we do have tsc. Yeah, so what you can do alternatively, you can just install -g globally TypeScript. So this will give you the compiler, right? So since my folder name is TypeScript, I cannot install a package name TypeScript, so that was the problem. But anyhow, because the package name will coincide, yeah, anyhow, I do have that tsc now. So now what I can do, I can simply write, let's say type.ts. So the file, the extension for TypeScript is .ts, right? So now I can write let a equals 5 and let b equals 6, and let's make it a character or a string in this case. Okay, and what I can do, I can say simply console log a plus b. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll compile it. So what I can say tsc type.ts. okay, so it will compile and it will give us a type.js as I said. So it's actually completely same. Okay, so what I can do, Okay, it started to give us error, but what we can do, we can simply go to this and type.ts, sorry, js, type.js. We have to run it via node. Okay, and it will give us 56, which you might not need. Okay, when you want to add 5 plus 6, you won't need 56, right? So what we can do, we can give this type number, and we can give this also type number. Now when we compile, we should get an error saying this, the type of b is number, but we are passing a string, so type string is not assignable to type number. So now we can simply go ahead and remove this, and when we do that, we should be able to compile it properly, and we should be able to run it, and we should get 11. That is 5 plus 6. I don't know why this is giving me error still. Cannot redeclare. Oh, okay, it's because this one is open there. Okay, no problem. So we got the first one. Now let's see another example. So let's say okay, so let's say test age.ts. okay, and what we'll do, I'll create a function. Okay, let's say function test age, and we'll pass age or user, uscr, user. Okay, and what we'll do, console.log user.name. Okay, and we'll be passing a user const user equals name equals, let's say, urban. And what we'll do, we'll say if user.age is greater than 16, console.log eligible, I don't know for what, but okay, else console.log not eligible, jibble. Okay, and we'll call this function test age with this user. Okay, sounds right. Now let's compile this. tsc, yep, tsc test age.ts. Now this compiles. Well, but we didn't give any error. I mean, we didn't give any age, right? So what this should be, okay, let's try and check. Test age not eligible. Why is this? Do you know why? So if we try and console log age here, it should be undefined, right? I think you have guessed, right? So it should be undefined, right? But let's say our user is 18 years of, has 18 years, right? So he should be eligible, right? But according to this program, since we forgot to pass age, right? So that's a blunder, right? So what we can do, what TypeScript will enable us, we can simply implement an interface user. Okay, this is basically a user defined type, you can say it right now like that, and it will have name as string and age as number. Okay, I believe, do we need to do this? No. Okay, and we will give this user as type, oh wait, we will give this argument as type of user. Okay, now when we compile this, we should get an error. Okay, argument of type name string is not assignable to the parameter of type user. Okay, so now let's try and give this user type. Again, we should get an error that we do not have age here, right? Parameter is age is missing. Okay, so now we can simply give age 18 and our program should compile properly and we should get eligible. Now I hope by this example you start to understand that we do need TypeScript or type checking after a certain limit, right? If so, this was a really little program, like very small program, right? But if you are working on a really large application and you miss things like this, that is gonna be blunder, right? And hard to debug as well. So I hope this explains you why we need TypeScript, and this was the statically typing part. Okay, but I do want to talk about the object oriented aspect as well. So let's do that next. Okay, so encapsulation. Object oriented programming has 4 key features, right? Encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Let's talk about each of them one by one. So encapsulation basically means hiding the information from user of the class, right? So there may be some things, okay, like the fields of a class, okay, the variables of the class, which you don't want the user of your class to know about, right? You may give the access to them using methods like getter method, but you don't want to give the access directly so that user can just call like user.age and get the age property of that. There can be some critical fields, right? You get the point, right? So in JavaScript that is easy to do and encapsulation is not there, but TypeScript enable us to have private class field, like like in Java and C++ we have the keyword private, right? So in TypeScript as well we can just add the private keyword and the field will be private. Okay, basically that won't be accessible from outside of the class directly. So that's pretty cool. Then abstraction, it is also related to encapsulation. Basically we don't want to give the implementation details of the class to the user, right? We just want them to know the class has these things, but we don't want to tell them how it is implemented, and that where interfaces and abstract classes comes into play. JavaScript does not have the features of interfaces and abstraction, and TypeScript enable us to do that using interface and abstract classes. By the way, I'm planning to do a full tutorial on TypeScript. If you want that, I'll include this in that. Okay, now inheritance. So JavaScript does support inheritance, no argument on that, but it supports prototypical inheritance. What this does, so basically it will have a core object, okay, and which will be called prototype. So all of the object that inheritance from the parent object, all the functions will be inside the core object only as prototype, and all of the objects will be inheriting from that prototypical object as well only. Okay, and this is good to manage the resources, but it is not that clean and flexible, right? TypeScript on the other hand provide us the classic inheritance, right? And in TypeScript we can also inherit from interfaces and abstract class, and using mixins we can also inherit from multiple classes called multiple inheritance, which is really cool. And obviously if you want I can make a complete video on that as well. Polymorphism. So being a dynamic language, it is very easy to do polymorphism in JavaScript. Basically what this means is an object, any object can be created using any of the inherited class. It is related to inheritance only, polymorphism, but in any object can be given the type of any inherited class. So in JavaScript in runtime you can give it any class which is inheriting from, and you need to check which it belongs to which class using the instance of object, right? Instance of method. So it can get very tedious in that way, but since TypeScript has static typing on by default, it will enforce your program to be to declare the type of variable at the time it is created, right? And hence this all thing in TypeScript is being done in the development time, so there is no chance of your runtime error. So in production your code is safe. Okay, so in JavaScript you will have to always check if this is instance of this class, if it is instance of this class. In TypeScript you don't have to do that, so it is much cleaner. Okay, if you don't get polymorphism, it is not very used feature of object-oriented programming, but if you do get it, it's good to know. Okay. So all right, I just have this much for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, you know how to support the channel. Please do support and yeah, subscribe, and let's hit that 500 mark as soon as possible. I am on all social medias by @urbancodes only, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere you can find. If you want to connect to me, just DM me. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.